Right, hello everyone. Welcome. This is very new for me. This is a very new thing that I'm trying out. But today, this video isn't going to be mainly about me. I've actually got a friend of mine that I've met through YouTube. He actually sent me a video about 6 or 7 months ago now, in November or just before Christmas. And it was like it was just under 20 minutes long of him explaining, how my videos sort of helped him discover that he was asexual too, and that he felt very similar to me, etc. He's actually from the US as well, so it's still crazy to me that a load of my videos reach out to people all across the world, across the ocean and everything like that. So that's still crazy for me. But today, this video is going to be like an interview-based thing. Not a proper interview, not very formal or anything, but perhaps I want to start this up, and if there's anyone here that actually wants to, be like Erik, for example, and be interviewed or something, or uh, get their points across and like explain what they are, how they feel towards their sexuality or whatnot. It's very interesting to see people's different perspectives on it and see how different people define, etc. So I think this is going to be very great, and I hope you enjoy it. Anyway, so Erik, how are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no worries at all. Would you like to introduce yourself, like whereabouts you're from and stuff first, and like how old you are and stuff, and what you define as?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Eric. I'm from the New York City area. I'm 21 years old. I will be 22 in September, and basically, in college, still going in college, and figured out about a little over a year ago now. Yeah, figured out a little over a year ago that I was asexual, and part of the reason, how I found out more about asexuality was by looking at videos on YouTube and finding you, Alex. So thank you very much.
Sure, awesome. Thank you for that. Yeah. So basically, what I want to try and get from you is like, how do you define basically? Like, is it what subcategory of asexuality would you class yourself in?
Well, I'm not really sure because
That's cool.
I am kind of more of like an introverted type person. I mean, I'm not like, oh, I hate people or anything like that, but I don't know. I'd say I'm still kind of trying to figure out between heteroromantic or aromantic, but I don't know. Maybe I'm leaning more towards aromantic right now.
Sure. Yeah, that's completely. I know it took me a while. You say that you were quite you've only discovered this whole thing in the last like year or so, right? And
Yeah.
so it
Yeah,
is
but the
still.
funny thing Yeah, but the funny thing is, I feel like I've just always kind of known because just um, going through school, particularly well for America, middle school, high school, going through all that. So I guess that's more of secondary school for you all overseas. But I just kind of felt like I've always like was different from everyone. Didn't really date or was romantically interested in anyone, and just didn't really get I didn't really get a lot of sex jokes. Like I was pretty slow with that. It took me a while to catch up with that. So pretty much I think I always knew I was, but I just never heard of the term asexual. So
Yeah, sure. Um, so what sort of when there's I know in your video that you sent to me, you said about it was a very interesting story of um when you went to a casino or something uh with a girl, and there was like a no there was like you
yeah,
said that there was a time where you thought this is what I'm supposed to want. She was like coming on to you kind of, and you said that like I'm supposed to want to, do stuff with this girl, but it just wasn't in your mind, right, or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, basically it was 2 New Year's Eves ago. I was casino, and it was a friend of one of my cousins, and I just kind of talked to this woman a little bit, this girl a little bit, and we all ended up going to the casino, me, my cousins, and her, and we just kind of drifted off. And now I do have to add that New Year's Eve, I was a little drunk, and she may have been too, but I still kind of,
Sure.
yeah. But I mean, but I don't think it would have affected. I don't think it would have affected how I felt because just going through the whole thing, going through the casino with her, she was kind of getting a little I guess you could call it flirty, like kind of like touching me a lot, and like I'm just thinking like wait a minute, it's like I'm in a foreign country, like with a foreign woman that fairly good looking,
Yeah.
and just like it's like I'm not feeling anything. I'm not I'm like I feel like I almost like don't want it, and then just like, but isn't this what people like
Yeah,
me, my age, my early 20s, is this what I should want? Because it
for
seems like,
sure.
everybody else wants it. So
Yeah, it's really interesting. um was there anything that you perhaps wouldn't have mind occurring? Did you kind of have a feeling that you kind of wanted to kiss her, or is it just you just didn't want any of that at all, just nothing from it at all, or were you attracted to her in like any sort of way like that? Because you say she was reasonably attractive and stuff. I don't know if, because I know for me, I may say, I wouldn't want anything sexual to occur, but I may have seen her and be like, yeah, I I'd quite like to make out with her or something like that. Because obviously it's different for people, so I'm just intrigued.
yeah, I mean, I did not really have any thoughts like that. I mean, she is, a decent looking person, but
Sure.
and I mean, one thing I do got to add also to kind of go off the drunk angle. Apparently, it didn't seem like it to me, but apparently she was pretty drunk herself. I mean, she wasn't really so drunk that she was like, slurring her speech or, stumbling while walking or anything like that. But the thing is, like, I had to tell her that I was from New York like 10 times, and like I kind of used that, and
Yeah.
like when I was kind of like breaking away from her, I kind of used that and just like yeah, I kind of had to tell you that where I was from 10 times throughout the night, and I'm just wondering if you're okay and stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah, so yeah, and that's kind of how it broke off in the end. But I mean, yeah, I mean, just didn't really like the kind of like flirty and sexual touching, like, if you will. I mean, I guess it wasn't that sexual by me. I mean, she did kind of try to take a peck at me, in terms of kissing and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean that was pretty much the night in general.
Yeah. Sure. So it basically the whole situation kind of made you feel a bit uncomfortable, perhaps. Is that am I right to say that? Or
Yeah, that would sum it up pretty well.
yeah. Are there
Yeah.
any other scenarios in your life that it's been like that? Was I presume that kind of uh, kind of was like sort of a, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but perhaps like a turning point, or like that was what made you really, you know, I am meant to want this or something, and it was clear that she wanted it, and why wasn't perhaps was that look
Yeah, yeah, that pretty much was what sealed the deal for me.
okay,
That's like, okay, I don't really, want that. And then, a few months later, I would discover what asexuality was. So, but I mean,
yeah,
like in the past, I mean, like just in general, like people would talk about, oh, like how hot someone is, like, ooh, what would I do to her, and oh, I,
yeah,
or
I
I'd
get
like to,
that.
yeah, you know what I mean, stuff like that. And, I
100%.
just really caught on to that, and, like, just sex jokes in general and stuff like that. I mean, in primarily middle school and high school, that's when I was, kind of not in the sexual loop, I guess you want to call it.
Yeah. So, like in high school, as you call it, or secondary school over here, um, like, did it make you feel isolated? Did you feel like you were different from your friends, or different from, or like even your peers? And yeah, how did that make you feel? Like, obviously, other people, as you just said, were talking about this a lot. So, how did it make you feel that you were somewhat different?
Um, well, I think it definitely did kind of make me feel different, and now that I look back, um, and like, even like, 'cause it even took me a while to understand, like, what the whole gay thing was. Like, I didn't really, like, believe it or
I
not,
remember you saying that in your video. Yeah,
yeah, like, I didn't really even know what gay was until I was like
16,
four,
everything you said. Yeah.
yeah, I was like 15 or somewhere around there, like
Okay.
15 or 16, somewhere around there. So which for me was 8 years ago. So um I mean, what was I gonna say? I mean, yeah, definitely. I definitely did kind of feel out of the loop. Oh, yeah, this is what I was going to say with the whole gay thing. When I look back at it, I kind of look at, like, because I was kind of bullied and picked on a lot, a little bit in middle
Sure.
school and my early high school years. And now that I think about it, I think people were trying to, like, see if I was gay. Like, they would ask me, like, Eric, who do you like? Who do you, love? Oh, what do you think about that guy? And, I even remember somebody coming up with this thing called, like, oh, take the straight test, and be like, follow my finger, and, like, they make finger motions, and then you go down, like, and the finger will go down all the way to, basically the um testes and penis area.
The
And
crutch. Yeah.
oh, you look down, you're not straight, stuff like that. So
Typical high school thing, eh?
yeah, yeah, I mean, typical high school thing, but I mean, like, just still, even now when I look back, it seems like a lot of people, tried to see or even thought that I may have been gay. So maybe that's how I kind of, like, not fit in a little bit, because maybe people thought I was gay. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was actually in a very similar boat in my secondary school years, because again, especially I a lot of my peers and friends just knew I didn't like sex, and I was a bit confused when people talked about it. Like, I didn't. I think I've said in one of my videos that I thought it was like a joke circulating around school. Like when people said that they did certain things, I thought it was like just a prank. Like they're trying to make others do it, as like, and something bad happens if you do it. I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but I just didn't believe it, because I'd never actually felt sexual attraction. So obviously I couldn't relate. But then obviously as my life progressed and stuff, then I kind of understood it more. Um, but yeah, that's really interesting. There was another question. I forgot what it was. Um, but yeah, was there anything else in your, like? Have you come out? Have you talked to your parents about it yet, or have you talked to anyone about it, or come out? Is it?
Um, really, very few people. Really, believe it or not, really only people that I know, um, through the internet. I mean, like, that's. I mean, actually, I'll take that back. One of my friends I told, but really, other than that, I mean, basically, no one really in my family knows. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I think my family would support me no matter, what.
Yeah,
They are pretty supportive people, but I just kind of always have that thought in the back of my mind, like, there's, because, for years they've just been saying, oh, when you meet someone, oh, when you have, I mean, they don't say it like this, but oh, when you have sex or whatever, like stuff like that, when you have, when you have kids in the future and stuff like that, when you get married, just things like that. Just, it's like I'm thinking in my head, like wow, like they're really looking forward to me, doing this stuff, and and I'm not sure if I want to. So, um, I mean, again, I think they would support me no matter what, but I just have the feeling that they would, one, be disappointed, and just, you know, I'd just
Yeah,
be, yeah,
I think a
yeah. I
lot of
mean,
people
it's,
relate in that sense. I think, especially, it's just the stereotypical thing, isn't it? That they just, because obviously we're their kids, so obviously our parents produced us and obviously needed sex for that to happen, So they kind of expecting us to sort of like do the same, and it's because it is just it is the norm that they just expect it to occur. And I think because there just isn't enough awareness about this thing and about asexuality in general, it's just I can completely understand what you say, like especially when you say about the disappointment thing. Like I know that that was the case for my parents especially, and it's just even my mum said to me and my sister that she just couldn't imagine. My sister's not asexual at all, but she just couldn't imagine like being a grandma or a grandmother because she just couldn't imagine us having kids really. Um, uh, I hope one day to have kids and stuff, which is hard for me to say, especially when how you feel like towards sex and stuff. I'm not sure how you feel about that. Do you want kids in the future, or
eh,
would you?
I'm
You
still
haven't really
kind
thought
of,
about it or something.
I mean, again, I feel like, people say, oh, you might change your mind, and I guess it's always a possibility, but like even if I don't end up having kids, and like this is the thing also that I should add in about myself, is that, I'm actually an only child. My dad's side of the family is considerably small, so basically, what comes down to is I'm an only child. I am at least the only person I know of with my last name. So it's like, it's almost kind of like, also like, oh, the pressure is on. I mean,
Yeah,
that I think about that too sometimes. So,
yeah, yeah. I bet. I,
yeah,
I'm exactly the same. I'm exactly the same. So would this is the question actually from before that I was going to ask you, but I forgot. Um,
yeah, go ahead.
would you want a relationship? You said you were a bit unsure. You're between like heteroromantic and aromantic, right? So is there any part of you that would want a relationship or just somebody in your life that perhaps you could grow up with and grow old with?
Yeah, I mean,
Is that like a
I
desire
do
of
feel like
yours?
I should give it. I do feel like I should give it like a chance, like just to make sure
Okay.
that it's something that like because basically, I mean, I know what you say about like in your videos you said like, oh well, how do you know that you don't like sex if you never had it? And I do think you make good points to that, but I mean, I am somebody who likes to experiment around, so I wouldn't really be completely closed to it. I mean, I think maybe at a different point in my life, because I feel like now it's kind of like, studying for school, getting your career going and all that stuff. And, and some people say, oh, that could be a distraction, forming a relationship at some point. And, at least right now. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sure. But yeah, as you stated about what I say in my videos, it is something that you don't like. Well, sex, and I know I feel that it's intuition, isn't it? You just know that you either like it or you don't. It's even if it's why a lot of people define as heterosexual or whatnot, even if even if they're a virgin or but yet we're not okay to define as that. But I think yeah, I think that's very interesting. But I don't want it to seem like you're just doing this because it is the norm. Just try it because everyone else is doing it or something. But yeah, that's cool. That's cool for sure. Um, is there anything else you want to speak about specifically, or
Um, let's see. Anything else?
I
Yeah, I
think
think
I've
I. Yeah,
carry on, carry on.
yeah, I think I pretty much got in. Yeah, I pretty much got in what I was going to. What I was gonna say. I mean, basically, and just I'm not sure if I mentioned it before, but if I did, I just want to reiterate that I only really found out, what asexuality was a year, a year and a half ago, really. Like since last, actually, not even like last March of 2015. So I mean, again, again, I think you make good points with making awareness and all that because there's I feel a lot of people that don't even know what it is because when I think about telling my dad or anyone in my family and if I tell them I have a feeling they're going to say like like you're asexual, like what the hell is that, like what is that?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. It's a thing again that people just aren't aware of, and I mean, it's like I had to fill out. I Some of you may know that I was in a counselling session last year, and I had to fill out a form at the start of it, and I don't know why, but they sort of like they ask for stereotypical things like your name, your age, and then they ask for stuff like your religion or your religious beliefs, but they also ask for your sexuality, and the only three options
Really?
there were, yeah, it was bizarre. The three options were just heterosexual, homosexual, or bisexual, and that was it. Like, what am I meant to tick? Or which box am I meant to tick? Those were the three options, and it just seems a bit, but then that's excluding a lot of others, like pansexuals, etc. And aromantics, like kind of define as yourself. It it just as you say, it just needs more awareness, and I know nobody I knew, none of my parents, and none of as implies I've got like loads of parents, but neither of my parents knew what asexuality was before I defined as it, or and they had to like look it up and stuff. I don't think I don't think they 100% believe me, and 100% they think that I'm probably still a late developer somewhat. Even if they don't say it, I can still feel that there's more to come, shall we say? um, I guess, and it's just it's sad, but I guess it's the way it is, and hopefully and I suppose the awareness over the last few years there has been more awareness than anyone's lifetime, because there's been so much more recognition about asexuality and like aromantics and stuff now, with social media such as like Tumblr and stuff, and especially um, just online, a lot of people are recognizing more and through social media and stuff, and people like myself making videos. Um, there has been a lot more awareness, which is great. So I'm we're quite privileged to live in this time as opposed to any time in the past, because there is somewhat more acceptance, and obviously there's more acceptance towards even like homosexuals now than there was before. So it's a step in the right direction, I guess, but there's still a long way to go, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I just find that really interesting, though, that I guess it was for your counseling session that
Yeah,
they had
yeah.
a question, what is your sexual
I
orientation?
know
Because
it
I
was.
mean,
I didn't understand how my religion either would like. I didn't understand why that was a valid.
your religion, yeah. Yeah,
Like,
because
it's
I
not
mean,
like
like I
if
could
you're
see,
like
I mean, I'm
Muslim,
not
you're
sure.
like denied. You're denied counselling sessions or something. I don't know what it meant. I don't know why they needed to know.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how it works in the UK, but I mean, over here in the US, like I could see that being like discrimination or something like that. But I don't
Yeah,
know, that's just me. I just find that weird. But
yeah. As I say, I don't think they would have done anything. I think that was just like if I put homosexual, they wouldn't be like, no, we're not gonna give you counselling sessions or anything like that. I think they would be supportive towards it. It just seemed a bit. It was the first thing. It was before I had even had any sessions, but you needed to fill out these forms to apply. So it was like the first thing I had to fill out. Was like, I'm giving away this much information like, already, and I'm having to lie about my sexuality because obviously my sexuality wasn't there. So I literally put heterosexual. I just put straight. Um, a lot of people believe I'm straight. I'm, heteroromantic, so I'm the closest thing to. But it's still, and I know if I put like another category, they'll just be like, oh, "What's that?" He's clearly like a weirdo or something. So that is some sort of discrimination within the questionnaire form. But again, I don't think it's intentional discrimination at all. I think it's simply because there is a lack of awareness, and um, hopefully that will change over the coming years.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. But yeah, I think I've covered everything I've wanted to. I think this has been quite a long thing anyway, so hopefully. Is there anything else you wanted to say specifically or anything? Were you?
Um,
I know
yeah,
you're
go ahead.
saying about your perhaps starting a channel. Is that still something that you may or may not do? Or
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, if I do, I'll let you know. But just
sure,
kind of taking it easy right now, and I'll just decide in the future what I'm going to
you
do
decide
with
in the future.
a
Sure,
channel or anything. So,
sure. What sort of videos, may I ask, if like you did start a channel? What would you be mainly doing? Sorry, this is just for personal. I'm just intrigued.
yeah, yeah, I guess kind of like part of it's similar to you, like spreading awareness of asexuality.
Yeah,
I like
awesome.
those vlog type videos that you do. I've actually been contemplating about doing that for a while, and maybe even some sports too. I get pretty involved in that.
Yeah, yeah,
So
of course.
yeah,
So just a variety, really. Well, that's really
yeah,
cool,
pretty much.
and that would definitely be. I encourage anyone that's thinking of. I was saying to someone last night also that was contemplating and starting a channel, and they have been for a while. Just try it out. If you keep like contemplating over time, I'm not having a go at you, Eric, or anything like that. I'm just talking to everyone in particular. Like if you're thinking of just starting out and you just over time you just been like, yeah, I may do this in the future, or I may do this. Just try it out. Like even today or tomorrow, just try it out. Because you will keep putting it off, like I did. I mean, I kept putting it off for years and years until I started it. I mean, I started watching YouTube videos back in, I think it was like properly in like 2010 or something. What now? It's 2016, and he started making videos in 2015. I wanted to make a channel from 2011 to like 2012, and it was just something I just never pursued. Like I thought about it, but never pursued. So I kind of wish I did. I wish I started sooner, and then I could have perhaps grown a bit more over time, and more awareness could have been spread. But I think that's a good bit of advice. So that same with anything really. If you keep putting it off, then you'll put it off forever really. But again, it's understandable that you do. It's fine to put it off. Contemplate it still. But I just think that's an important bit of advice really. But again, I didn't mean to say like you need to start a channel now, Eric. Jeez, I didn't mean to say that. But
Why are you trying to rush me?
yeah, I'm not trying to do that. But I was just that was just my own experience, I guess. It was just I always wanted to, and I never did, so I kind of wish I started sooner. But I'm glad I started it at all, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, good. And you got 1,500, almost 1,500 subscribers in a little bit
Yeah,
over a
you
year.
can
So
if you're watching this, you can help make that 1,500. Yeah, so that's cool.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's coming up to my year anniversary actually, so that's kind of cool. I think it
great.
was like the 20th of July or something. I made my first video, so I'm like 2 weeks off, just under. So that's kind of cool. It does not feel like a year. It's gone very quickly. But yeah, right. I think we'll end it. Is it okay to end it here? Is there anything else you want to say? I know I said
Yeah,
that. If you did. Yeah. Awesome. Well,
Yeah,
thank
that's
you.
fine. We can end it here.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. As you can see, this isn't really edited well, probably. Um, so it was very impromptu, and hopefully we did an okay job. If you liked it and want to see more of like this, just give it a thumbs up or say in the comments or something. It's thanks to Erik for coming on. Is there any place that people can talk to you or just leave comments and you'll perhaps reply or something? Or
Yeah, yeah. Actually, what I'll do is when you upload the video, I do have like a YouTube account, so I
yeah, so
can
just
like comment there and
yeah, and then
say like
people
it's
can
me
add
or
stuff.
something like that. So
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that sounds great. Okay. So yeah, Erik will, feel free to ask him questions on. Is that okay if people ask you questions on the bottom of
yeah,
this
fine.
video? And
Yeah,
yeah,
that's great.
same with me as well. And if just send me a message or send a comment or something if you want to, perhaps feature on one of these. If you want to, be the next Erik, shall we say? Erik, you may have started off a trend here. So,
I feel
so
so honored.
yeah. So yeah, if you want to do that, then just feel free to message me or comment or something. And yeah, thank you for watching. If you've got to this far and are still watching, thank you. And yeah, I'll speak to you very soon.